This is Mirgy from Merchant, and you're listening to Collision on Voice FM.
Right now, on the phone, I have Mirgy from Merchant. Hi.
G'day, Kat. How's it going?
Awesome. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very tired at the end of a week, but I'm very good.
Oh, well, you've got plenty of time to sleep between now and tomorrow night.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any sleeping going on tomorrow night, to be honest.
No. So when this interview finishes, you can go to bed and sleep until 1 o'clock and then get your butt down here to Ballarat.
Then I can crack a beer, I think.
It's going to be a crazy night at the Eastern tomorrow night, I imagine.
Yeah, I think it might get knocked down.
It wouldn't be the first time people have tried, I'd say. But actually, before we do talk about that, tell me about Merchant. How long have you guys actually been Merchant?
We've been Merchant since, guys, Willie, Nick and Kirby started jamming in, I think, late 2014. And then the start of 2015, start of last year, I jumped in, stepping into for vocals. So I've been active since, I think around March in 2015.
Right.
We're just, four best mates that grew up in Essendon in the northwest in Melbourne. And we're just trying to write music as heavy as we possibly can, as slow and heavy and destructive as we possibly can.
So then, were you in the band before you jumped into vocals?
No, I wasn't.
Right.
I jumped in, picked up a microphone, and the band got about 200% more handsome.
That's good to know, especially for the girls in Ballarat because they'll be at the Eastern in Ballarat tomorrow night. But I guess then the new album, Suzerain, how do you say it properly?
Yep. Exactly right, Suzerain.
Oh, geez, I keep getting things right lately. There's something wrong with me.
2 points.
That'd be your first release with Merchant then?
Yeah, we released a demo in 2015. It was just one track called Seismic.
Mm-hmm.
After that, we got straight back into writing, and the 4 tracks that are on Suzerain, we polished them up. We recorded them at Goat Sound with Jason Fuller, and we got them mastered by Dave Byrne, who he is Iridium Audio.
Uh-huh.
And so we've finally been able to release it. And then on June 25th, we've got an album launch show at the Bendigo Hotel in Melbourne.
Right.
And we finally have our actual physical releases that we can sell to everyone. You can get it on Bandcamp, on the Merchant Bandcamp now.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll finally have our physical copies, which are being released through Snake Charmer Coalition, who we just got signed to.
Right. It definitely is a full-length release, but I don't know if it's an actual album because it's only got 4 tracks.
Yeah, it's an album if it's over, I think it's 50 minutes or 53 minutes, something like that. It's actually the length of the entire recording. Like LP is limited press, EP is extended.
I actually messaged one of the guys in your band and asked, have you got any tracks under 10 minutes?
Oh, geez. We don't plan on it.
No, you have. You got a couple that are around 9 minutes, so that's all good.
Yeah, I think Black Vein is 8 or 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's actually the one I'm going to play after the interview.
Oh, sweet. Good choice.
So Suzerain then, I guess I'll have to throw that on the end of the show one week because that song goes for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute epic.
Well, then, in your live show, do you perform all 4 of these tracks, and are they as long or even longer when you do them live?
That's a minute. It depends on the gig, to be honest. We would love to play more than 2 or 3 songs, but even if we have a 45-minute set, we generally can only play a maximum of 3 songs. Like we played last Friday at Grumpy's on Smith Street, and we unveiled another new song which goes for 15 minutes. So that's just kind of further made it difficult to structure a 30-minute set or a 45-minute set.
And how do you guys go? Because this gig, you are actually doing the Winter's Eve in Ballarat at the Eastern tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah.
And it starts at 5 p.m. and you're not on until 20 to 12. So how sober are you going to be by then?
We've made a pact to be as sober as possible. We knew that when we accepted the last lot. Yeah, I think doors are at 4:30 tomorrow as well, so we're going to be there by about 4 o'clock. So part of when Richie from Wilderness, when he put on this gig, he wanted to be super inclusive and show off all these amazing bands, all these, local Australian bands, and especially guys like Bog and Never who are opening stuff up tomorrow. Like, they're such amazing bands and so worth it to get down there, early, get down there before it's 20 to 12 and spend the whole night like hanging out with the bands and hanging out with all the punters. And
not only that, but there's going to be a food van there so people can actually eat while they're there too.
Yeah, there's going to be a food van, and what they're all accepting, Richie and all the bands are accepting donations for which are going straight to the homeless. So things like big, warm winter jackets, blankets, pillows, canned food with a pool ring on it, all that sort of stuff that won't necessarily mean a great deal to you or I. That can mean so much more to people in need. So if you're coming down, bring $15 to get in and bring a can of baked beans or something.
Yeah, I'll have to have a dig around for some nice warm stuff. That's what they want, warm stuff.
Blankets, towels, everything, even backpacks and books.
Yeah.
Stuff to entertain and put entertaining things in.
So then tomorrow night you are playing at the Eastern. I guess you're staying there the night because your party doesn't start till you finish playing.
Yeah, we actually got the last 4 beds booked, so it's going to be absolutely packed.
The whole Backpackers is booked out, is it?
Yeah. So I booked up for Merchant. I booked 4 beds, and actually was informed that the last 4 beds at the Eastern. So it's going to be nuts. We even had some of our friends that are coming up with us, and they're sleeping in some caravan park or in their cars or wherever they drop.
Wow. It's definitely going to be a huge night then at the Eastern. Make sure
it's going to be crazy.
Yeah. I'm just looking, how much is it to get in?
It's $15.
$15. And, yeah, you've got your launch show. When did you say the launch show is in Melbourne?
For Merchant, our launch show is the 25th, which is a Saturday at the Bendigo Hotel. And we've got really good mates of ours from Roundtable and Bog playing. And then there's another close mate of ours, Dave Byrne, who mastered our album Suzerain. His band Ilva is going to be playing right before us. So it's going to be a massive night with some local Melbourne bands who are all mates. And if we're not at the Tote playing, at the freaking Bendigo or the Tote or any of those bloody Smith Street-esque venues, if we're not playing the gigs, we're at these other band gigs. It's such a supportive scene. It's so good to be a part of. That's what tomorrow night's going to be about at Winter's Eve as well. Just 10 amazing bands, cheap entry, lots of beer, good vibes. Yeah,
and lots of fun and lots of cleaning up tomorrow.
Yeah, well, hopefully then I'll be in bed halfway back to Melbourne.
Well, the cleaning up won't be your job, no. I'm not sure whose it is, but whoever it is, have a good sleep tonight. Oh, Saturday night.
And I do not envy them.
No. And I'll tell people so that they can keep up with where you are and what you're doing. They can find you at facebook.com/Doom Merchant.
Yes, that's correct. That's the Merchant Facebook page. And on that, you can find our Bandcamp, which is where you can listen to our music, buy our music. You get T-shirts, patches, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, Facebook's where you can find out where we'll be and what we're doing and what the next gig is. Yeah,
and it is doommerchant.bandcamp.com. And I did actually just share both. Oh, I shared your Bandcamp page on my Facebook page, and I shared the Winter's Eve event, which is on tomorrow night at the Eastern in Ballarat. And I should say, starting from the opening band, we have Bog and Never, Field, Mother Slug, Roundtable, Wilderness, Suiciety, Swidgen and Merchant.
Yes.
And that's quite...
Which are all crazy. They're all headline-worthy bands, every single band. But when Richie was organising the gig, everyone saw the other bands that were playing and everyone was like, oh, shit. All these bands are so good, they're full of guys that have played in other amazing bands. And so we almost drew the short straw by going last because there's all these amazing bands before us, so we're going to have to try and bring our A-plus game.
I'm sure you'll be just great, and it's going to be an awesome night. And you're going to have probably around 40 minutes to play, seeing as you're starting at 20 to 12. So get that 40-minute set worked out, which 3 tracks you're going to do.
Yeah. We might unleash another new one and just play the whole 40 minutes for one song.
Well, I do have quite a few of the bands from tomorrow night lined up here to play, and we are going to start with your track, Black Vein. But is there something that you want to say to people before we say goodbye?
I love you.
Oh, I'm sure everyone loves you. Everyone go down to the Eastern tomorrow night and tell Mirgy how much you love him and Merchant.
Yeah. Actually, come down, have a beer, come say hi. we just want to have fun as well. We're there we're going to be there at 4 o'clock watching all the bands. So come down and say good day.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, Kat. Thank you.
I look forward to catching up with you.
Definitely. 100%.
All right. And we're going to hear from Merchant and Black Vein, and we'll be back on Collision.